Very good morning all. સો પ્રીવિયસ લેક્ચરમાં આપણે સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ કર્વ વિશે થોડી વાત કરી હતી, બરાબર છે? તો વોટ ઇઝ અ સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ કર્વ? કે ભાઈ તમારી ઇલેક્ટ્રોમેગ્નેટિક રેડિયેશન જે આપણે સન કે જે બી સોર્સમાંથી આપણી ઇલેક્ટ્રોમેગ્નેટિક રેડિયેશન આવી રહી છે અને એ આપણા અર્થ સરફેસ ઉપર પડે છે, બરાબર? સો અર્થ સરફેસના અમુક જે બી મટીરિયલ્સ કે જે સરફેસ છે, બરાબર, સો એ અલગ રીતે રિએક્ટ કરશે. આઈધર એ અમુક પોર્શન એબ્ઝોર્બ કરશે, અમુક પોર્શન ટ્રાન્સમિટ કરશે, રિફ્લેક્ટ કરશે, રિફ્રેક્ટ કરશે, બરાબર? સો એના પરથી જેટલી અમાઉન્ટ એ એબ્ઝોર્બ, રિફ્લેક્ટ અને રિફ્રેક્ટ કરે છે, બરાબર, સો એના ઉપરથી આપણને એક સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્શન કર્વ મળે છે કે ભાઈ પર્ટિક્યુલર ટાઈપની જો પ્રોપર્ટીઝ ઓર સરફેસ હોય, બરાબર, તો કઈ રીતનું એનું રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક છે, બરાબર. તો એની પહેલા આપણે ત્રણ વસ્તુ જોઈ હતી કે સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ ઓફ વેજીટેશન ઓર ટ્રીઝ, સેકન્ડ છે સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ ઓફ સોઇલ, અને થર્ડ હતું સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ ઓફ ધ વોટર, બરાબર. તો અત્યારે લાસ્ટ ટોપિક છે આપણો સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ ઓફ સમ નેચરલ ફીચર્સ. Sample spectral reflectance curve of some of the natural features like snow, healthy vegetation, stressed vegetation, dry soil, turbid water and the clean water are given in the figure. બરાબર, આ તમને જે ફિગર આપેલી છે, બરાબર, એ દરેક અલગ અલગ ટાઈપની સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ કેરેક્ટરિસ્ટિક ઇફેક્ટ કરે છે, બરાબર. લાઈક જે આ લાઇન્સ છે, બરાબર, સો ધેટ ઇઝ ઇન્ડિકેટ ધ fresh snow, broad leaf vegetation, stressed vegetation, dry soil, turbid water and the clear water. In a multispectral image, multiple sensors are used to sense the reflectance in different wavelength bands. Reflectance recorded in a multiple bands are analyzed to find how the spectral reflectance varies with wavelength. Using the average spectral reflectance curve as the basic information, the spectral reflectance variation is used to identify the target feature. For example, the aerial photographs of a stadium in a normal color and the color IR are shown. In normal color photograph, the artificial turf inside the stadium and the natural vegetation outside the stadium appear in the same color. On the other hand, the IR color photograph help to differentiate both very clearly. The artificial turf appear dark in tone, where the natural vegetation shows high reflectance in the IR region. Spectral reflectance curve of the natural vegetation and the artificial turf are shown in the figure. Image are taken. બરાબર છે? આ તમને જે ફોટોગ્રાફ દેખાઈ રહ્યો છે, બરાબર, સો ધીસ ઇઝ અ નોર્મલ એરિયલ ફોટોગ્રાફ. તો એમાં તમારું આ જે ગ્રાઉન્ડ છે, બરાબર, અને અંદરનું જે ગ્રાઉન્ડ છે, બરાબર, સો બંને સિમિલર દેખાઈ રહ્યા છે, બરાબર. પણ જ્યારે આપણે વાત કરીએ કે ભાઈ નેચરલ વેજીટેશનની આપણે વાત કરીએ છીએ, બરાબર છે, તો એ આપણને અલગ કલરમાં દેખાઈ રહ્યું છે કે જો ભાઈ આ રેડ છે અને આ આપણો ગ્રીન છે, કે આ ડાર્કર ટોન છે અને આ આપણો આઈઆર ફોટોગ્રાફનો લાઇટર રેડ ટોન છે, બરાબર છે. સો અહીંયા આપણો જે ટોપિક છે સ્પેક્ટ્રલ રિફ્લેક્ટન્સ કર્વ, એ આપણો અહીંયા કમ્પ્લીટ થાય છે, બરાબર છે. મોમેન્ટ આપણે બીજી સો નેક્સ્ટ આપણો ટોપિક છે સેટેલાઇટ્સ એન્ડ ઓર્બિટ્સ. ઓકે, સો કોઈ બી રિમોટ સેન્સિંગ માટે આપણે સેટેલાઇટ સૌથી ઇઝ ઇમ્પોર્ટન્ટ પાર્ટ ફોર ધ રિમોટ સેન્સિંગ પર્પઝીસ, અને એનું ઓર્બિટ કે કયા ઓર્બિટમાં એ પર્ટિક્યુલર પાસ થઈ રહ્યું છે, બરાબર. So when a satellite is launched into the space, it moves in a well defined path around the Earth, which is called the orbit of the satellite. Gravitational pull of the Earth and the velocity of the satellites are the two basic factors that keep the satellite in any particular orbit. Spatial and the temporal coverage of the satellite depend on the orbit. There are the three basic type of the orbit in use. ત્રણ ટાઈપના આપણો ઓર્બિટ છે: જીઓસિન્ક્રોનસ ઓર્બિટ, પોલર ઓર નિયર પોલર ઓર્બિટ્સ એન્ડ ધ સન સિન્ક્રોનસ ઓર્બિટ, બરાબર છે. સો આપણું જે ઇક્વિટોરિયલ, નિયર પોલર, પોલર અને જીઓસિન્ક્રોનસ satellite orbits are matched to the capability or objective of the sensors they carry. Orbit selection can vary in terms of altitude and their orientation and the rotation relative to the Earth. So this lecture introduces some important terms related to the satellite orbit and the details of the different types of the satellite orbit. The characteristic of the satellite orbit: the path followed by a satellite in the space is called the orbit of the satellite. Orbits may be circular or elliptical in shape. So the first is the orbital period, time taken by a satellite to complete one revolution in its orbit around the Earth is called the orbital period. It varies from around 100 minutes from a near polar Earth observing satellite to 24 hours for a geostationary satellite. Altitude of a satellite is its heights with respect to the surface immediately below it. Depending on the purpose of the satellite, the orbit may be located at a low, moderate, and the high altitude. Apogee and the perigee. Apogee is a point in the orbit where the satellite is at a maximum distance from the Earth, and the perigee is the point when is the orbit where the satellite is the nearest to the Earth is shown in the figure. So this is apogee and the perigee. Inclination of the orbital plane is measured clockwise from the equator. Orbital inclination for a remote sensing satellite is a typically 99 degrees. Inclination of any satellite on the equatorial plane is nearly 180 degree. Nadir ground track and the zenith. Nadir is the point of interception on the surface on the Earth of the radial lines between the center of the Earth and the satellite. This is the point of the shortest distance from the satellite to the Earth's surface. Any point just opposite to the nadir above the satellite is called the zenith. The circle on the Earth's surface described by the nadir point as the satellite revolves is called the ground track. In other words, it is a projection of the satellite orbit on the ground surface. Swath of a satellite is the width of the area on the surface of the Earth, which is imaged by the sensor during a single pass. For example, swath weight of IRS-IC LIS-3 sensor is 141 km in the visible band and 148 km in the shortwave infrared band. Side lap and overlap. Overlap is a common area on a consecutive image along the flight direction. For example, IRS-1C LIS-3 sensors create 7 km overlap between two successive images. Side lap is the overlapping areas of the image taken in the two adjacent flight lines. For example, side lap of the IRS-1C LIS-3 sensor at the equator is 23.5 km in the visible band and 30 km in the shortwave infrared band. As the distance between the successive orbital paths decreases toward the higher latitudes, the side lap increases. This helps to achieve more frequent coverage of the areas in the higher latitude. Second is geosynchronous orbit. Geostationary or the geosynchronous orbit is the one in which the time required for the satellite to cover one revolution is the same as that for the Earth to rotate once about its polar axis. In order to achieve this orbit period, geosynchronous orbit are generally at a very high altitude, nearly 36,000 kilometers. Geosynchronous orbits are located in the equatorial plane with an inclination of 180 degrees. Thus, from a point on the equator, the satellite appears to be stationary. The satellite revolves in the same direction as that of the Earth. Geostationary or geosynchronous orbits are used for the communication and the meteorological satellite. Example, INSAT, METROSAT, GEOS, GMS, etc. Satellite in the geosynchronous orbit are located above any particular longitude to get a constant view of any desired region. For example, the GEOS East and GEOS West satellites are placed in orbit over North America. INSAT 3A is located at a 93.5 degree east longitude. The Japanese geostationary meteorological satellite is located over the New Guinea and the Metostate over Europe. Because of the very high altitude, the footprints of a geostationary satellite are generally very high. They can yield area coverage of 45 to 50% of the globe. The polar orbit. This orbit have a near 90 degree inclinations. Polar orbits are usually medium or low orbits compared to the geosynchronous orbit. Consequently, the orbit period is less, which typically varies from 90 to 103 minutes. Therefore, satellites in the polar orbit make more than one revolution around the Earth in a single day. Figure shows the multiple orbit of a satellite in a typical near polar orbit. The National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration series of satellites like NOAA 70 and OAA 18 are the example of the polar orbiting satellite. Taking advantage of the rotation of the Earth on its own axis, each time newer segment of the Earth will be under view of the satellite. These satellites orbit at the rotation of the Earth work together to allow complete coverage of the Earth's surface after it has completed one complete cycle of orbits. An orbital cycle is completed when the satellite retracts its path, when the nadir point of the satellite passes over the same point on the Earth's surface for a second time. Orbital cycle is also known as a repeat cycle of the satellite. The orbital cycle need not be the same as the revisit period. The next is a revisit period is the time elapsed between the two successive views of the same area by a satellite using a steerable sensors. A satellite-borne instrument can view off-nadir areas before and after the orbit passes over a target. In a view of this off-nadir viewing capability of the satellite, revisit time can be less than the orbital cycle. The revisit time is important, especially when the frequent image is required. In near polar orbits, area at high latitudes will be imaged more frequently than the equatorial zone due to the increasing overlap in adjacent swath as the orbit path come closer together near the poles. The next is sun synchronous orbit. In a special case of the polar orbit, like a polar orbit, the satellite travels from the north to the south pole as the Earth turns below it. In a sun synchronous orbit, the satellite passes over the same part of the Earth at a roughly the same local time each day. These orbits are between 700 to 800-kilometer altitude. These are used for the satellites that need a constant amount of sunlight. A typical sun synchronous satellite completes 14 orbits a day, and each successive orbit is shifted over the Earth's surface by around 2,875 km at the equator. Also, the satellite's path is shifted in the longitude by 1.17 degree every day towards west at the equator from platform and the sensor as shown in the figure. So the orbit 2 day 2, orbit 2 day 1, orbit 1 day 1, and orbit 1 day 2. Landsat satellite and IRS satellite are a typical example of a sun-synchronous near-polar satellite. Figure shows the orbits of the Landsat satellite in each successive pass and on successive days. Repeat cycle of the satellite was 18 days and each day 14 orbits were completed. Remote sensing application. Remote sensing application generally use near polar, sun synchronous, and the near circular orbit. The near polar orientation helps to attain new near global coverage, whereas the near circular orbit helps to attain uniform swath for the images. Sun synchronous orbit are preferred for the maintaining constant angle between the aspect of incident sun and viewing by the satellite. Remote sensing satellite orbits maintain nearly 90-degree inclination from the equatorial planes for the difference in the gravitational pull. Medium orbit periods are adopted for the remote sensing satellite so as to assure the global coverage in each single day. Okay, so અહીંયા આ ટોપિક તમારો કમ્પ્લીટ થાય છે બરાબર. So in the very next lecture આપણે next topic start કરીશું. Okay, so see you in the next lecture.